So when I was at Summer League, I actually sat with three former Hawks. I think one guy stuck with the Hawks. Two of the guys were with Nate McMillan, and then they were with Quinn Snyder. But as soon as the season ended, they both, went elsewhere. I think one ended up, I think with the Clips, and then the other one stayed with the Hawks. I think he's the video coordinator, and the other one, I don't know what he's doing. But we were all talking, and I asked them what if Trae Young's actually a diva or anything, as much as the media makes him out to seem, and they all told me he's actually like a really quiet dude, just keeps his head down and works. He's a really nice guy, and I believe it that the Hawks and him just remain steadfast that they don't want to do any business regarding trading him. So DeJounte Murray appears to be one of the more available players in the entire NBA to be for trade, and part of that reasoning is obviously the Hawks want to continue to build around Trae Young, and Zach Lowe says people around the Hawks say the idea of Trae Young being traded is unpalatable. Now, Young signed a 5-year, $250 million deal with the Hawks in 2021 and is signed through 25 to 26 with an option for the 26 to 27. That's a player option. Now, the Hawks do owe future first-round picks to the Spurs as part of that 2020 Murray deal. A complete rebuild initiated by Trae Young would be illogical. You don't trade a guy who has the potential to be a Hall of Famer. Young has guided the Hawks to conference finals in 21. He's continued to put up all-star quality numbers, but there's concerns about his liability on defense, his efficiency numbers that put him below that superstar realm, and being able to win, I think, is the biggest thing. Now, I think the last 2.5 years have not been fair roster construction for him. I think that's definitely quite evident. And I think when you look at this team, it's a big problem with it is they need to figure out what they want to do as a team with their roster, because I think it's definitely concerning to think, okay, they want to be a better team, but they're clearly struggling with the fact that what direction they want to go with what to build with Trae Young. I think clearly having a 6'7" guy like they did with Kevin Huerter, like Trae Young, like Klay Thompson is next to Steph Curry, is the right move. I think that's the big thing. You got to find a 6'7" shooting guard. Maybe go out and try. If Paul George ever became available or someone of that architect, that's what they need to do. But yeah, I'm in the camp. Let's not trade him. Let me hear your thoughts. Let's get to the next one. What we're hearing is DeJounte Murray, of course. This is the one that we're just going to get out the way. So Atlanta is at least looking for 2 first-round picks. We're hearing from the Ringer. The Hawks are not looking to take back any salary because they're cheap bastards. League sources told Hoops Hype, not the cheap bastards part, but that they're not wanting to take salary. You all know how cheap Hunter Wrestler is. With the Lakers having been arguably the most interested or linked team to Murray due to his representation with Clutch Sports, any framework for Murray would likely involve D'Angelo Russell and probably Gabe Vincent, as that would be contingent with Russell being flipped to a third team like the Brooklyn Nets, as Atlanta is in the process of looking for a buyer. Russell's $18.69 million contract with a player option in next year, and his playing style is not viewed as a good fit for the Hawks. As reported, Los Angeles would have to use their 2029 first round pick, ESPN has said, and the Lakers could get Atlanta's asking price of 2 first round picks by probably giving up Jalen Hood-Schifino, but it's worth noting that Atlanta chose Kobe Buffkin over him in the draft. The Hawks do covet Austin Reeves, so he could be the guy to get that trade value down. Now, in another big market, Murray is drawing trade interest from New York, as the Knicks aren't in a rush to push their chips in the table for him, as OG Anunoby has been really good for them. The Nets begin as a suggested fit for Murray by ESPN's Bobby Marks. The Hoops Hype podcast was the one that touched on that. Brooklyn has since reported interest in him involving a Spencer Dinwiddie deal. Brooklyn is shying away from Atlanta's asking price of at least 2 first-round picks. Hoops Hypes has learned. Now, the Sixers have been linked to Murray, but Daryl Morey probably won't give up that many picks for someone who might be a questionable fit next to Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Now, rival executives expect Murray to continue to gauge the trade market. The Pistons were linked to him, but it's not a realistic fit with Ivy and Cunningham there. Despite that, the Heat, who are interested in him won't make an aggressive push, nor will the Spurs, because they don't have the assets the Hawks covet, and the Warriors just don't really see a way of getting that to happen. So let me hear your guys' thoughts. Where do you think he lands? It's kind of getting harder with every day that passes. This might be one that gets pushed to the offseason.